Wonderful viewers out there, we are set once again to bring you to speed with happenings in the ever-exciting world of sports. My name is George Adwo. You're welcome to yet another loaded episode of Sportsville. I must tell you, loaded as usual. In today's package, we shall be looking at the NFF elections coming up next week in Benin. Will the election hold or not? We'll put our fingers crossed. I must tell you that some ex-internationals have already secured court injunction against that election. Plus the countdown to Tuesday's friendly, the cracker between the Super Eagles and the Desert Foxes of Algeria. That will be coming up in the city of Oran. Former Eagles midfielder Ogeyi Onazi, a special friend of Sportsville, is already standing by out there in Italy to chat with us in today's show. We have a super exclusive too with Shego Debami MON. They call him ex-international. You know, he is one of the super legends of the game in Nigeria. Debami will be speaking to us. He's a super exclusive. Let's start with a recap of the week in pictures. After that, then we'll begin to fire on all cylinders. Don't go away. It is Sportsville. And don't forget that I'm not working alone. My colleagues, Tony Bani and Matthew Okugbe, very much in the house after this break.
So, where does football live?
Football lives here.
You could win a trip to the FIFA World Cup plus other amazing prizes when you spend a minimum of 50,000 Naira monthly or $1,000 with your Visa card in at least 5 transactions.
All right, welcome back. If you just joined us, you've not really missed much. Let me now introduce my colleagues. Let me start with Tony Wokoma Ubani. Tony, you're welcome to Sportsville.
Thank you so much, George, and of course, thanks to our ever-ready viewers. Thanks indeed for joining us. A lot of things happening, George, and of course, the cracker you mentioned earlier, the Super Eagles, they're not going to the World Cup, but let's see what they do, to somehow bring back their faithfuls, talk about the Nigerian fans to their side.
All right, let's see what they do. That friendly will be up on Tuesday. They already out of it because of injury. On that note, let me welcome Matthew Okugbe to the show. Matthew, you're welcome to Sportsville.
Yes, feels good to be here. Thanks for having me, George. And to our most esteemed viewers that were set to take them to the ever-pulsating world of sports. And we hope they will definitely get to enjoy today's package.
All right, let's start with Toby Amusan. Their record has been ratified by World Athletics, and that's a good one, confirmation. And Toby has been celebrating back home. A party was held for her on Wednesday in Lagos, and I think everything is going Toby's way. Tony, ratification from the World Athletics body. That is a confirmation that Toby's record stands.
Yeah, George, I think there is no stopping the celebration. The ratification, by World Athletics confirms that indeed, she has done it and everything has been cemented. There is no fear of anything, because before the WA talk about the World Athletics, confirms this, George, that shows that Toby Amosa is equally clean. So there is no drug, there is absolutely nothing that she used, performance enhancing, that could have tainted her, or the fear of this record, being wiped out. I think it's the beginning of a celebration, and I'm happy that the Nigerian government also honored her the way she should be honored, and of course others, with her. And indeed, the national honor conferred on her also somehow, George, somehow makes me happy every time I think about it. And companies should roll out the red carpet. People should come out to celebrate this living legend, a very young girl at her age. She has done something that nobody, dead or alive, has ever done in Nigerian sports.
But let's talk football now. The Super Eagles will not be at the World Cup, but we'll see them on Tuesday. International window is up in different countries. While Europe is playing the Nations League, other countries are playing international friendlies, and Algeria will be opening a brand new stadium in the city of Oran, and Eagles will be part of it. Matthew, but all the same, we'll have other competitions to contend with. We'll have the Nations Cup that is coming up in Côte d'Ivoire. So we shouldn't just say because we've lost the World Cup ticket, we shouldn't prepare the Eagles. I know that Tony is actually paying.
Yes, absolutely. If you ask me, I will tell you it's time to build a new team. It's time to see how flexible the team can be. We saw a high-scoring Super Eagles side in their last game, and this time around they are coming up, I would say, their best test yet under the new coach, Jose Pizarro, playing against a side like Algeria. I think it will be a good one. And also the fact that a couple of high-profile names are also out of these ones, the likes of Osimhen, the likes of Chukwueze, it also gives us an opportunity to see other players in their full element. So for me, I would say it's not a complete miss for the Super Eagles. We must build from here and ensure we do well at the AFCON come 2024. And at this point, one of the Super Eagles players we so much savor in his playing days for the team, Ogenyi Onazi, is joining us on the show all the way from his base in Italy. Ogenyi, thanks for joining us on the show.
Thank you very much, my brother. Good evening.
Yes, interesting, Onazi. Some Nigerians are seeing you for the first time since you moved to Italy, precisely. I would like to know, how are you settling down in your new club?
Yeah, it's been good. Italy is not a strange place for me. It's my home, and I'm back to Italy for so many reasons, and it's very good. I'm very happy, and well, for me, it's all about the quality football. Money is good, money is important, but it's a plan which I've had, and with the people who I'm working with, because of reasons that people don't really know. Because here in Italy, for you to play as a foreign player, there are limits of foreign players, and those limits are already full. If not, people will be asking, why on earth we go to Serie D or something? But the limit is full. But there are options of playing in Serie D. When you play in Serie D and you eventually finish the league, and you finish the league on the top on the league, automatically I'm going to play like an Italian player. So then I can play in Serie A or play in Serie B, those options coming. There are other parts of it that, a very important thing that I came back to do in Italy, which I don't want to disclose here on the interview, but it's a very, very good plan for me, and I'm doing really good.
Now let's talk the Super Eagles, the big one on Tuesday, finally upon us against the Foxes of Algeria. Injury worries in camp. A couple of key names are out of the team as we speak. How are you looking forward to that game?
Well, injuries are inevitable. It's things that comes, you don't expect it. If one expects injury, you will avoid it. And so these are the things that you cannot avoid, It happens like that. The most important thing is for the coach to know the right people to be in place of those key players that are out. And also, it's an opportunity for anyone who has been sitting on the bench. For those players that are playing, it's an opportunity for you to show yourself and tell the coach that you are ready to replace them when they are not there. So in one way, it's bad for them. We don't pray that it's an injury that will keep them for a long time. But in the other way, it's a good opportunity for others who has been on the bench or who have been called up for them to play. So it's a show time for you to be able to show yourself. When I was in the national team, it was an opportunity that was given to me to show myself, and I proved myself. So everyone needs an opportunity. So it's an opportunity for everyone to show themselves, at least give the coach an option for him to know that when this person is not there, these other persons will be replaced, And of course, we know those players are key players to the national team. But yes, this is a friendly and it's also an opportunity, an avenue for them to be able to showcase themselves and tell the coach that we too are also options.
Before we let you go, Nazi, how ready are you if called upon by the coach for subsequent games?
My friend, Nigeria is too big. The country is bigger than everybody. And so I respect this country and I've given all and I'm ready to give even more for the country. As far as I'm still playing and I'm still doing very well, I'm in shape, I'm fit. If the coach feels that you can be able to fit into my program, my plan, I'm ready. It's just a call through and I'll be there. For me, I'm doing so good and training very well, playing my matches, everything is going well. So for sure, I'm very, very much available for any call.
Thanks for your time with us on the show, Ogeyi Onazi, and a highly combative midfielder currently plays for Cartagena in the Italian Serie D. Thanks for your time with us on the show.
You're welcome, my brother.
All right, let's talk continental football now, where Nigerian clubs are doing well. Plateau United will be up against Esperance of Tunisia. That will be on October 7 at the Moshood Abiola Stadium. That is the first leg of that one, Almighty Esperance. And then Rivers United will be up against Wydad Casablanca of Morocco. That will be at the Adoke Amasemeka Stadium in Port Harcourt. And then debutants, Kwara United up against RSB Bekane. And same October 7 at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena here in Lagos. Unfortunately, debutant Remo Stars lost out in the continent after pulling up a gallant start in the first leg. They drew 1-1, but unfortunately, in the return leg, they lost by 1-0. And from the coach of the Kenya-based club, after their ouster against Asfa of Morocco, the military team of Morocco, we had an exclusive one with the coach, and he shared his thoughts with us on why Remo Stars could not get into the group stage. And then Sportsville, trust us, were equally at the airport to receive Rivers United when they returned from their trip in Liberia, where they stopped Watanga from making it to the group stage. So Rivers United and Remo Stars, trust Sportsville, were all there and will bring you this package. Enjoy it.
We cherish the experience. We were unlucky. Maybe in the first leg we were lucky, and this is football. But the most important thing is we learned our lesson. It's our first time. We were able to pick the positive out of this. As a person, as an individual, as a club, we have learned our lesson, and I think this is part of growing, and we need to grow.
It's quite unfortunate that my team will be in the second round of the tournament. It's a learning process for us. We came, we saw, though we didn't conquer. And I believe we've not lost, we just learned lesson. I'm a bit disappointed because we went to Morocco, we gave it our all. And they came to our home ground to pick their maximum 3 points, which they said they are coming for. And they picked it. But it's football. It's like that. It's a learning process for us.
I am very happy for my team. The mentality, it's good, very good experience, and two match we try to play good football.
We just strive to do the right things, you know. We know that it's to get things to work, you must be strategic about it. Things don't happen overnight. This facility, we started it about 3 years ago, and here it is now. So if we didn't start it 3 years ago, we will not be here. So this is what needs to happen. Like I kept telling people, the state teams can equally do this, but they don't have the time. okay, to plan, to be systematic about things. So you cannot really blame them. So it is the private sector that must come in and drive our football. And if they do, these kind of things will be seen, for sure.
It was a good game. It was a very big test for us. They were also strong. They came as strong as we expected. Being the champions of a Liberian league, we expected them to come out stronger. Against Warad is a big game, of course. They are the champions of the Champions League in Africa. One cannot undermine their powers and their exploit. They've been there, champions in the past. They have all that it takes. But we are not also relenting. We want to make name, we want to make history for ourselves. We are the underdog. A lot of people are not giving us any chance at all. We want to prove Bookmakers wrong. And that is the reason why we have to go back to drawing board to do a lot of tactical work to ensure that we prove surprises.
I think it was a tough encounter and it's unfortunate to lose the game. We didn't want to lose or draw the game. But we gave our all and unfortunately we lost the game. It was really tough and a wonderful experience. I think our target is getting to the group stage and there's nothing impossible in football. Football is about the moment and we'll have the day that day goes around with the game. So it's possible we can upset Wada because they are favourite, but we're all prepared for this encounter and we'll give our best shot to make sure we'll take the team to the group stage.
I would say that it's always an awesome experience to play in the CAF Champions League. So yesterday's game wasn't an exception. We gave it our all anyway, but at the end of the day, we scared through. We expected a tough game and we got it. It wasn't a bad outing. As a unit, we are a strong bond. We play with cohesion and our team spirit is always high, no matter the opposition we are playing. Of course, North African teams are always the strongest in this continent, no doubt about that, preparation-wise and technical-wise and all the rest of them. But I bet you we have a strong team.
So, where does football live?
Football lives here.
You could win a trip to the FIFA World Cup plus other amazing prizes when you spend a minimum of 50,000 naira monthly or $1,000 with your Visa card in at least 5 transactions.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that one. Rivers United, they made it to the group stage, and then Remo Stars, unfortunately, they lost out. And like we've always told you, join us on our social media handles so that you'll be part of Sportsville. We are giving you all the social media handles again at Sportsville Official on Facebook, at Sportsville NG on Instagram, and at Sportsville Niger on Twitter. Also, subscribe to our page, Sportsville on YouTube, so that you'll be part of the conversations. And like we told you, the most constructive comments will be published on Sportsville here so that you'll be part of the show. Remo may have crashed out, but we say kudos to the owner of that club. Talk about Kunle Sodame. I mean, what he has done shows that if we actually invest in sports, we'll be getting it right. Matthew, we were at the Remo Stadium in Ikene. The facilities is something else.
Wow. If you want to look at, I remember I was having a conversation with you while we were covering that game. I said this is a professional club that is being run professionally. For the first time in recent years, I saw a capacity crowd that paid to enter the stadium to watch a game, that got tickets. And in an interview after the game, he said, Shoname said something that is very germane. He said we should confirm from the residents that nobody comes into the stadium to watch games without paying, that they must be able to inculcate that culture. You understand? Look at it. Look at the facility. About 3 other training pitches that can host international games.
Exactly.
Were beside. And you must also give credit to whoever the contractor is that made that edifice. For me,
our friend Ebi,
yes, you must also, you must say kudos to him. You must,
he's a Nigerian.
He's a Nigerian company, and if you look at how the club is being run, I feel other clubs should begin to draw template from that. He said something. He said the club is not designed to compete and win trophies. He said he must put this out there. He said the reason why Remo Stars is formed in the first place is to harness talent and usher them into top clubs in Europe. And that's exactly what they've been doing. He said they are not getting money playing the league. Where they get their money from to update and keep their infrastructures going is on selling players.
Enjoy this interview with Shego Degbami, MON, with EY, I must tell you, because the EY is there.
It seems surreal that I am the one clocking such an old age, he just snuck on me like a thief in the dark. It was not something I was thinking about or envisaging in any way. The years have just rolled by. And when 2 days before the day, friends surprised me on television and started to celebrate, I was asking myself if it was a dream or if it was reality. Because maybe I've been in self-denial, but my life has been so busy that I didn't think that one day would come when I would join the club of old people. When I was 17 years old, I visited my father and he told me he was 57. And I looked at him and I said, 50 what? 50? How can you be such an old man? So you can see that I had this vision of an old man in my mind, and I don't fit into that picture at all. I still get engaged in the things that I've been doing throughout most of my life. And so one has to just give gratitude to God for bringing one to this point where we are not celebrating anything that is negative. We are celebrating something that is positive. Now, I started as a little boy growing up in Jos, and Jos was a very laid-back town in the heart of Nigeria. And every young boy then, he played either football or rugby, which is very popular, or some were riding horses because there were horse racing events in Jos. It was a town that had a lot of expatriates, and so they promoted those major sports that had to do with our colonial masters, Britain. And you found a lot of those sports there. Rugby was very, very popular, and football was popular too. So as a student, I just naturally just took to football in secondary school and in primary school and secondary school. And it was not as if I thought I was going to make it a career. I am an Egba man. My parents were fully Egba, even though they were in Jos. And if you know the tradition of the Egbas, it is all about education. So that's all I knew growing up. My parents were pursuing our academics, all of us. And so the combination was just natural. It's a big pain, a bigger pain because my country, if you know how that could have impacted the economy of this country, going to the World Cup would have impacted the economy, impacted lives, hundreds of thousands of Nigerians all over the place. In the 5 million viewing centers that we have all over the country, we have 5 million plus, where people would have gone to watch Nigeria play. They would have taken drinks, they would have eaten food, they would have put their money wagering, betting. They would have socialized, they would have shouted for those few minutes and forgotten their pain and poverty. And the people in those small kiosks and everything would have sold some things that would have helped their lives. We have given up all of those because we choose to do the wrong things. We choose to take the wrong people and put them there. We choose to be silent in the face of such tyranny. We choose not to change and do the right things. We don't choose merit. We choose incompetency. We choose mediocrity. We choose tribalism and all those isms that have harmed us and made us slaves to poverty and hunger and illiteracy and disease and everything in the world. We've become slaves to those things. For as long as these elections are conducted on the basis of the old statutes, with the same people that brought us to where we are, and you think they will just surrender power and change their ways and become new Nigerian people, we are not going anywhere. So that's the reality. So they had better heed the advice of Mr. President if we want there to be something different. You can't be doing the same things the same way over and over again and expect a different result. Mr. President has advised, amend your statutes, make a few amendments, expand the electorate. Let it involve a few other people so that your choice of leadership would now be more, will be broader. And you can remove some of those that are not legitimate members of the NFF, who are there now. They say they are stakeholders. Yes, but they are not members. So that's my take on it. I wish them the best of luck. I'm not a participant. I'm not voting. I'm not contesting. I'm just observing. I'm praying, like the rest of Nigerians, that things will get better, even though we are not doing the things that will make them better.
All right. That was Big Sheg there, blowing hot. Tony, special interview with Big Sheg.
George, you know one thing about Shegu Mathematical Odegwame is that anytime he talks or writes, he's gripping, and you must always listen to him. As he's getting old, George, the man is gold. I think that's what Nigerians should take. As he's getting old, the man's wisdom is gold to us. And he has said it all from the World Cup, from the fact that we're not getting it right. And I think that we should revere Shegu Odegwame now that he is here. And of course, listen and do some of the things that you heard him say on this gripping interview, George.
All right, gentlemen, that is the show. My producer is telling me now that time is not our friend again. Thank you, Matthew, for being part of the show today.
Thanks for having me, Tony. George, I sincerely enjoyed myself.
And Tony, thank you for being part of Sportsville today.
Okay, thank you so much, George. A beautiful program, and thanks to Odegwame. And also, we're still folding our arms, waiting and hoping that perhaps there will be reason that will see us have the NFL election coming up on September 30th. But as it is now, we are still folding our hands, listening to the stakeholders.
All right. Thank you, Tony, and thank you, Matthew, and to the new baby of the house, Francisca Nwobodo, who has been in the studio here with us. We say thank you for lightening up our day. That's the show. We'll see you next week, and bye-bye, and God bless. Oh.
Roger Ferguson.